Okay, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to look at some of the potential, possibly not always, but some of the potential cost savings you could have from changing from a petrol car to an EV car. The two areas I'm going to look at today is an example of a 150-mile trip with a couple of scenarios based on home charging, public charging and a petrol car. But first I'm going to have a look at the insurance side of things, because people kind of ignore insurance a little bit. It's not one of the things that they tend to focus on when choosing a car, but for me insurance is quite important. Now what I've decided to do is choose the Vauxhall Corsa, which comes in both a petrol and an EV, and they're pretty much identical. The chassis are exactly the same, the interiors are the same, the power from the engine and the electric motors is about the same as well, so it's a good test for one. So what we need to do is find two cars, and then we're going to have a look at the actual insurance quotes for that and see which one of the two is cheaper. So as you see, first thing I did, went onto Auto Trader, so I've selected a Vauxhall Corsa 2024, under 5,000 miles, 5-door and 100-150 brake horsepower. This is for the petrol car. So this one that I've got here, it's got just under 1,000 miles, 879, and it's just under £20,500. So a few images of the car. I'm not sure who took these pictures, but I think they need to have a word with them, because they're not the best if you're selling a car. Some of them are blurred, but I'm not interested in the pictures as much. What I'm interested in is the registration of the vehicle. Now, as you can see, this has got just under 1,000 miles, so it's pretty much brand new. It's a 1.2 litre engine. If I go down to specification, it's 128 brake horsepower, and if I move my head out the way, it does 49 miles to the gallon. So I've got the registration on that one. Now I need to try and find any version of the same car, and there's plenty to choose from. This one here, it's just a little bit more than the petrol one, 20,800. This one here is 20,100. So there's plenty to choose from. I wanted to go for one that was reasonably priced for the mileage, so I've chosen to go for this one. This is a red one. It's got just over 1,000 miles, but it's 19,224, so it's about £1,000 less than the petrol version, but it's got a few more miles on it, so it balances it out quite well. So again, this is a 24 plate, one owner. It's got a range of about 221 miles. Specification 134 brake horsepower, so it's got a little bit more power. So they're pretty much identically matched, I think. So this would be a fair test for us to look at. So got the registrations of both vehicles. Let's go and have a look at what the insurances say. Okay, so we're going to do the petrol one first. So put all my details into the Go Compare website. I use this one because I've used these before. I've got an account saved with them from my personal cars, so it's easy for me to do it this way. So put in the registration of the petrol car, and the one I'm looking at there is the second one down, which comes with the personal accident courtesy car and windscreen cover, or for a little bit more per month you get the breakdown cover included. So that's £30 a month, or £362 a year for the petrol car, so £30 a month. So let's have a look at what the insurance comes out at. So again, exactly the same details, same occupation, exactly the same. So let's see what this comes out with. So this one with the breakdown, the personal cover, the courtesy car and windscreen is £26 a month, or £314 a year. So it's a saving. It's not a massive saving, but to be honest, I'm at that age now where insurance just doesn't seem to be able to get any cheaper. I mean, £26 a month on a 74 plate car. I mean, a lot of people would love to have insurance that cheap. Like I say, I'm nearly 50, so I'm in that bracket now where insurance just will not get any cheaper for me. If anything, it's going to start going up because of taxes and age and so on. But it's still a saving on an annual basis. So there you have it. Insurance can, not always, but insurance can be cheaper on an electric car of the same specification, the same power, same manufacturer than a petrol car. So we need to add that into our overall savings, really, of going from petrol to, like I say, a lot of people forget about, these are some of the shocking images on the car, but a lot of people kind of forget about the insurance side of thing and just think it's all about day-to-day travel. But if you're saving £6 a month on your insurance, you know, that can add up over the course of a year. Okay, so the next part of this video is looking at an example, a real world example of doing a 150-mile trip in both a petrol car and an electric car, and seeing where the savings might be. Now, this isn't completely straightforward, if I'm being honest with you, but the results might surprise you a little bit as well, so just stay till the end and see what the results are. So I'm going to read off my screen. So basically I've chucked this into ChatGPT to do the calculations for me, just so I don't get them wrong. So we've assumed that the petrol car can do 49 miles to the gallon, which the Corsa did, and the electric car's got a range of 221 miles, which is about just looking down my list, it's about 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, which is basically what I get out of my MG4 at the moment. So it's very, very similar energy usage between both cars, similar sizes as well. So for the petrol car to do 150 miles, assuming that petrol is about £1.33 a litre, it is going up. I've noticed recently by me it started to creep up again. Everything that's going on in the world at the moment, Russia, Iran, Israel, all these wars or the conflicts, yeah, it's not good for oil prices. They are going to go up. So we're assuming it's £1.33. So for me to do 150 miles in the petrol car comes out about £18.50 in cost. That's petrol. Now, when it comes to an EV, I've calculated this in two ways. First one is I can charge at home, okay, which I can do. So this is personal to me. I can charge at home, and it costs me 7 pence per kilowatt hour to charge up my car overnight. So that's the first one we're going to do. That comes out at £2.45 to do the same journey. So that's a huge saving. What is that, about £15 something? Yeah, to do the same trip. So that is huge savings. Okay, so let's take the second scenario then. This is the electric charging being public only, so I can't charge up at home because we're only doing a 150-mile trip. My car, or the example Corsa, would have enough fuel to do that trip without any problem on a single charge. But let's assume we can't charge at home, we've got to use public charging for everything. And going from middle of the road price of about 75p per kilowatt hour, they can range from 40s all the way up to 85p is the most expensive I've seen so far. So we go for 75 in the middle. That comes out at a cost of £26 to do the same trip. So that's about £8 more than the petrol car, and it's about £22 more than if you were using home charging as well. So when you're trying to budget for an EV, or you're thinking of changing your car and you're really not sure if you want to go for an EV or a petrol, you need to take all this into consideration. If I do a 150-mile trip once a week and I can't home charge, then yeah, it's going to cost me more. If I can home charge, then it's going to save me £15 a week just on that single trip, which soon adds up. If you then take into account that the insurance is cheaper as well, then that's even more savings. Where the issue is where you can't charge at home and you have to rely on public charging. So an EV isn't going to work for everybody, and I'm completely open about that. It is not for everybody, but for the majority of people, the average daily commute is probably 10-15 miles for most people, the average. If I go to my office, it's a 60 miles round trip. So yeah, I have to charge up a couple of times, but I'm lucky enough that I actually can work from home majority of the time. But I do have home charging as well, which brings that cost down. So anyway, I hope this short video just explained two elements that you need to consider if you are buying a car, whether you're considering to go back to petrol or if you're considering moving to EV. There are two important things. One is, what's the insurance? You might find that the EV is quite considerably cheaper for you, as mine just won't go any cheaper than £26, no matter how hard I try, because I'm just that old, unfortunately, or luckily, however you look at it. And the other thing is, what kind of usage do you give your car? How many times are you going to have to charge up in a week or a month? and then do those calculations. So use ChatGPT, give it the statistics, it'll give you an average or a rough idea of how much it's going to cost you. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If it was useful, please consider liking and subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help me out. It means that I can grow the channel, something that I'm really passionate about, and I will reply to any of your messages below as well. So if you are considering moving to an EV or you're really not sure, let me know in the comments below what's holding you back or what's making you go that way. And if that might push you over the edge a little bit closer to buying one, why don't you check out this video about the new government grant scheme that's coming into effect, where you can get up to just over £3,000 off a brand new or £1,500 on tier 2s. So go and check out that video. Again, it might bring down that cost of owning the car. And generally, second-hand cars for EVs are far cheaper than petrol ones. A lot of bad media out there, bad publicity, and it's making the prices artificially low. That is not going to last forever. Those prices are now beginning to creep up as people realise what bargains they actually are and how reliable they are. Don't believe anything you say in the media about you've got to replace your battery every 20,000 miles and it's going to cost you 15 grand or things like that. It's not true. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.